1 Saiyan versus 20 Frieza supporters. I have a feeling this might be extremely racist. Maybe. I don't know. We gonna see. I love Dragon Ball and I like Jubilee, so we gonna see.
I am Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans, and today I'm surrounded by 20 Frieza supporters. My first claim is simple. There's no excuse. Serving Frieza makes you evil automatically.
So like I was saying, I disagree with this because people that serve Hitler, not everybody who served Hitler was evil. Some of them just had to. It's a do or die situation. So I'm gonna disagree.
You say everyone who worked for Frieza is evil, no exception. Doesn't that make you a hypocrite?
I'm speaking from experience. I had to learn that lesson the hard way.
Oh, please, no one here benefited more from the Frieza Force than you, Vegeta. You lived off his empire for years. He favored you, treated you like his golden boy, and you used that to boss everyone around, even us. You are as bad as Frieza, maybe even worse. And now, you come here acting like we are the villains? Vegeta, between all of us here combined, our body count is still probably smaller than yours. We are not evil, Vegeta. The universe is evil. We are just trying to find a place in it.
Keep telling yourself that. But the reality is that you're just cowards, terrified of change. Yes, I had a horrible past, but at least I own up to it. I don't let it define me. I move forward and...
Bro, not everybody is the same. Not everybody is fortunate enough to grow stronger and beat up Frieza. Even though you got packed up by Frieza. We're not going to discuss that though.
Try to be better every day. Instead of using my past as an excuse, use what I'm trying to be now as an example. If you really want a place in this harsh universe, the first thing you should do is stop living like a slave and leave Frieza's empire.
Oh yeah? Just quit the Frieza Force and everything will magically works out. Well, guess what, Vegeta? Not everyone can just leave and go bang a billionaire,
Don't you
play
dare talk
family
about
man,
my wife.
and live rent-free on Earth and hang out with gods like you. Gods who, by the way, other reason this universe is rigged against people like us. But sure, Prince Privileged here is gonna lecture us about good and
You
evil.
can keep throwing your sad little personal attacks at me and blame everyone but yourselves for the choices you make every day. But it doesn't change the truth. All of you are pathetic cowards. You slaughter innocent people, children, just to impress a
I'm
tyrant
not
who
trying
will
to
throw you
please
away
him,
the
I'm just
second you
trying
mess
to
up.
survive.
You say you're doing it.
See, bro. Vegeta not understanding. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive, bro. He don't get it. He don't get it.
To save yourself. No, you sold yourself the second you decided to be his dog.
So your claim is that you can't be in the Frieza Force without being evil? Then what about me? I'm not a fighter. I'm a doctor. I've never killed anyone. In fact, I've saved lives. Do you still call that evil?
Everyone who knowingly supports Frieza's rule of terror is guilty. Even the guy scrubbing the floors on Frieza's ship is choosing to surrender to evil instead of
I'm a doctor.
resisting it.
Saving lives is evil to you?
If the lives you're saving belong to genocidal monsters who will go out tomorrow and burn innocent planet to ash, then you...
He kind of got a point. But I don't know. Dang. He might. How's he gonna rebuttal that? Hold on.
Yes, that's very evil.
I don't only treat fighters. I treat all kinds of workers, even their families. Sometimes I even save survivors from the planets we raid. I've seen children, refugees.
While Frieza's forces did at times preserve a number of survivors following planetary conquest, this practice was rarely motivated by humanitarian concern. Instead, such individuals were commonly retained for forced labor, scientific experimentation, or a resale of the intergalactic market. In effect, survivors were saved only so their suffering could be extended in more organized and profitable manner.
People who wouldn't have made it without me.
Frieza.
See? So they were saved for a bad reason, basically.
Helping survivors of his own massacres. You expect me to swallow that?
I lived it. Look, I know Frieza isn't perfect, but in this universe, you're either with him or against him. I chose to stand with him while trying to do as little harm as possible, and I even managed to do good.
Pathetic. That mindset, be a victim or be a servant, is the lie you've swallowed whole. That's not survival. It's surrender. You could have chosen to fight, chosen to scrape out a life on your own terms. A life outside the Empire may be harsh.
A life outside
but anyone
the
with
Empire.
even a shred of self-worth...
Vegeta, you don't understand how miserable the universe is. I spent 40 years studying medicine, learning the anatomy of hundreds of species just to help people. On my third world planet, I was unemployed, ignored. I traveled across the galaxy for a single opportunity. Nothing. The only place that gave me a chance to follow my passion with the technology I needed was the Frieza Force, and they paid me well. I'm not a slave. I'm thriving.
All you greedy bastards care about is money and comfort. You don't care whose bones get crushed.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Vegeta tripping. What? What are we talking about? What are we really talking about? He's trying to make a living. Bro, what? And he's doing something good. You gonna say he's bad? How is he in the wrong? He's not in the wrong, bro.
Beneath your paychecks, as long as you're fed.
Vegeta, you can't tell us not to care about money when you've been literally sponsored all your life. You were a prince, then Frieza's prodigy, and now you're the in-law of the richest family on Earth. You're in no position to come down here and tell those of us who are struggling that we shouldn't care about it.
The same tired argument. You're rich, so you don't understand. Pathetic. Money might not have been my problem, but don't you dare tell me I've never suffered. I know what it means to be broken, to be humiliated, to have everything stripped away.
Bro, he don't know what it feel like, bro. He always been a prince. He don't know what it feel like. He tripping, bro. I promise you. He's not, Saiyans are, bro, it's 21 Frieza supporters, bro, because he tripping.
And yet, I stood back up. Not because it was easy. Not because I had wealth, but because I had pride. You say you heal people? Then heal yourself first. Rip out the cowardice inside you. Every soldier you mend makes Frieza stronger. Every life you save fuels the Empire's slaughter. You're not saving lives. You're trading a few survivors for millions dead. My second claim is that the Frieza Empire is the reason our universe is in such a miserable state.
Hard to believe. You fought gods, demons, creatures that could erase existence itself. And you really saying that Frieza is worse than all of them?
Yes, I am.
I can't speak too much on this claim because I don't know how many planets they really conquered and destroyed and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know.
Cosmic threats came and went, but none of them chained entire generations in fear the way Frieza did. Frieza wasn't just bad for populations on a personal level. He was poison to the universe itself. He is the reason our universe is ranked so low.
If that's true, then how do you explain that our universe was ranking better during Frieza's reign?
That's just a lie.
That's facts. Even your god friend admitted that the fall of the Frieza Force lowered our universe.
No comment.
What matters is that people across the galaxy say their lives was harsher under Frieza, yes, but at least they were stable. They had structure compared to the chaos after his fall. But at least they...
See, I don't get, cause it's like under a dictator. So it's like, oh, life is cool under a dictatorship. So it's like, you're losing me. You're losing me.
were stable. They had structure compared to the chaos after his fall. They were better off.
Better off. Better off under a tyrant who committed genocide for amusement. The only ones who miss Frieza are the ones too afraid to imagine freedom. What they really miss is the certainty of their chains.
Vegeta, you might not know this, but the Frieza Force wasn't just a colonial military organization. It was a core part of our universe's ecosystem. Not only did it provide millions of jobs, but entire businesses were built around it. Rules were made based on its existence. Planetary economies depended
What the
on
hell
their
are you
deals
even
with
talking
Frieza.
about? Are you really trying to say that Frieza was a good guy? Even Frieza himself proudly admits and brags that he is the embodiment of evil. Everything Frieza ever did was only to benefit himself, without caring about who he
Yes,
destroyed.
of course, Frieza is not a good guy and his actions are purely selfish. But while being selfish, his actions were beneficial for a lot of people, enviably more than they hurt the others. At its peak, the Frieza Force made groundbreaking technological advancements, built a universal economic system, and got rid of all competing warlords. At the very least, they gave the people one clear threat to adapt to, instead of the chaos happening like now.
Frieza didn't crush warlords. He recruited them. They were absorbed into his army and given exactly what they wanted in exchange for their loyalty at the expense of innocence.
And yet people lived.
He
They
didn't
adapted.
build economies. He exploited them. His so-called advancements were stolen from the world's...
Frieza's empire did produce legitimate technological advantage, largely scientific recruitment from conquered worlds. However, recruitment in this context really meant work for us or watch your plan explode, which proved to be a surprising effective hiring policy. I mean, they made progress. Do I agree with their method? No, but they made progress.
conquered, and only his empire benefited. I was there. I saw planets stripped of every resource until nothing was
Under
left but
Frieza,
corpses
there was at least one
and
threat to
dust.
understand,
Tell
one
me,
tyrant to
what
endure.
kind of
Now, there is nothing but chaos.
Let's be
That-
clear. Even Frieza himself would spit on the picture you're painting. He bragged about being the embodiment of evil. He never pretended to care about order or prosperity. If he heard you right now trying to make him sound like some galactic savior, he'd laugh in your face. He'd think you were making him look weak, and he doesn't tolerate weakness. Not from enemies, not from his own men. He'd kill you for it without a second thought. My final claim is that me and Kakarot defeating Frieza proves that us, Saiyans, are the strongest warriors in the universe.
No. Because no, you're not stronger than Whis. You're not stronger than Beerus or Beerus. And didn't y'all jump him? So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's what you care about. Everyone tells you they are struggling, and you only care about who's stronger. We don't care.
Oh yeah, all of you sure seem to care when you thought your leader Frieza was the strongest.
What are you talking about? I am not even in the Frieza Force.
I'm not gonna lie. I need one of those hats. Make Universe 7 great again. I need one of those hats. But Vegeta, are you in the strongest? That doesn't matter. Why does that matter?
I'm just a civilian, and still I support Frieza. You know why?
Because you're an idiot?
Because I think you and your friends are the worst thing that happened to this universe. You destroyed Frieza, left a giant power vacuum, and left people to struggle in pure chaos. At first I thought that you were just too dumb to think about that. But now that I'm hearing you talk, you and your...
Honestly, thinking about it, defeating Frieza probably did leave a lot of repercussions. Like, you defeat Frieza, and now the planets that like were under his reign of terror, they just went into chaos. Like, who's the next leader? It's a bunch of wars probably going on. So I think Vegeta and Goku did kind of mess things up badly by defeating Frieza. So he might be onto something.
friends are just a bunch of egotistical bastards who don't care about anyone
I am
but
a
themselves.
warrior. My job is beating evil, not fixing the universe.
You are not even doing that right. You only cared about what you call evil when it stood in your way. The moment it wasn't hurting you, you didn't care. You never bothered to crush the remnants of his army after his death. They were unorganized, causing even more harm than he did. You didn't care about the groups that filled the gap when he left. You didn't care about the planets whose economies collapsed after him. And you call yourselves heroes?
I never called myself a hero.
Well, you're not. And you're not even a good guy. You could be helping millions of struggling people, but instead you keep chasing power to feed your own ego. How is that not evil?
I do whatever I want. I don't owe you anything. We can't help everyone.
You literally can. Your wife keeps the strongest wish-granting artifact in her garage, and she uses them to get boob jobs every year instead of saving millions who are starving. You have the power to build your own empire and use it for good. You are friends with the literal gods of this universe. No one has more power than you to help us, but you don't. That's why people like me choose to support Frieza. Because unlike you, he actually cares about building something. And people all across the universe are waking up. And they'd rather live under a dictator who at least makes a system, even if it benefits him, than trust you and your friends who don't care at all.
I'm not gonna lie. He might be onto something. Cause think about it. Who did Goku and Vegeta ever put on?